3 and 5 are the ones that are out. It's
Anytime. Right now, you can test on that.
So, this is going to be a word-for-word, verbatim transcription of a monologue by the great performance artist, comedian, raconteur, storyteller, Lord Buckley. I won't give you a whole biography, but suffice it to say, he was a comic spoken word performer that performed in Al Capone's Chicago all the way up to the late 50s when he made a series of very influential and now out of print vinyl records. And he did basically the history of the world in a fake English costume and a fake black American dialect. That's me, I'm Scrooge. I got all Molly's Bolly, and I'm the baddest cat in all this world. I've been studying all my life how to Scrooge people, and I guarantee I've done some fine work in that direction. Cratchit? Yes, sir. You busy? I sure is, sir. See, you keep busy. Don't want no dangling wangling around here. Keep everybody tight. And tell them 2 cats come in here and won't get some money. I ain't giving no money away. They mess with Scrooge. I'm taking it in. I ain't putting it out. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Well, keep it clear. People come around here and want my gold. It's all trying to pry into my vault. Every time I turn around, somebody trying to stay. And tell my nephew I don't want to have no dinner with him, and if he never comes in here again, that'll be too soon. I'll tell the cat, see that you do. I don't understand these people all after my gold. I guess I better close up this here place. And let me tell you something else. You think you're going to get off Christmas Day? Well, I was hoping, sir, that you'd let me knock off for just a little while for Christmas Eve, because I want to go home and cool the goose. Well, if you're going to get off Christmas Eve, you're going to have to work all day Christmas. You hear me? Yeah, I hear you, sir. I'm with it. Well, I guess I'll go on home now. So Scrooge takes off down the street, and the snow is blowing, and the wind is whooing, and Scrooge is going along in his loose soul, and his loose clothes, and his hard cash box, and his big money mind is going on in his wig, and he ding, ding, ding up the stairs, and he opens the door, and he gets inside, and he puts a double lock on the door, because he's a little bug tonight. He's been seeing humbug so long, humbug this, a humbug that, he's done give himself a natural humbug. He got the bug humming in him, see? So he double locked the door. And he's sitting there, and all of a sudden there's an old bell laying over in the corner, and the bell goes ding, 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 ding. He said, what's that? Ding, dong, what's that? Bell started to ring. Ding, dang, boom, boom, boom. Pretty soon all the bells all over the house started to ring. Ding, ding, boom, 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 boom. And there's something like some chain, cats pulling all the chains from the chains of time up the hill of strife, ringing and dinging and saying, what is all this ringing and dinging with them chains? All of a sudden, pfft, in come a cat. The wildest looking cat you ever seen in his life. Real gone cat. Scrooge does a real wild take. He said, I know who that stud is. That's Molly. Say, I know that's Molly. Say, what you doing here? Say, Molly. Say, yeah, that's me. Say, man, you sure chained up there, man. You had chains all over you there. Well, I put them on myself. That's the way I lived it. I chained myself. I hung myself up with all these chains, being parsimonious, understand me? And I can't get them off. Now, I've been lugging these chains all over the country for the past 7 years. Well, that's a long time. What you want with me there, Molly? Because I got your Bolly. I don't mess with no Bolly no more. I wished I'd given it away when I had it. And I'm going to tell you something else, too. I'm a spook. You know that? You telling me. I know you a spook, Molly, because I'm giving you. You need to get straight. I'm going to tell you something else, too, Mr. Scrooge. There going to be 3 more gaslighting spooks come to see you. Say, 3 more gaslighting spooks come see. Say, one's enough. Can't I have them all at the same time? Say, no. The first one to be 11, next one to be 12, next one to be 1. Man, I don't dig this. Ain't what you dig, Scrooge. It's what you putting down. You've been a very solid cat all this time. You're going to be gaslighted by these spooks. Well, they say if I got to be gas, it ain't going to cost me no money, is it? Costs you more than that, Scrooge. Say, it ain't no more than money. See, you find out, and Molly split. And old Scrooge is sitting there sweating and dinging and danging. And all of a sudden, man, he hears some crazy, wild kind of a thing going on. He don't know just what it is. Just all of a sudden, boom! And in comes a great big fat spook. Look like take 170 wings to lift him up off the housetop. And he got a gold beat-up cap, and he got strangly legs and strangly arms and all pedicured eyes all out of his skull, spooking up a storm. And he looks at old Scrooge. He's there. Scrooge is sitting there. He feel like a little disrupted, small, disregarded, and unclaimed white mice midget style. He's sitting over there, and this old spook say, "Come with me, 'cause I's the ghost of Christmas past." And Scrooge say, "Do I have to?" Say, "You certainly do." And he got on the ghost's wing, and he took off, and he's flying, and the spook's flying over the mountain, and the wind is blowing, and the wind is pouting his wig. He's looking down, seeing all these crazy scenes going on, zoom, and he goes a few more miles and takes it down to a sunlit pasture. And in the sunlit pasture is full of children, and they're singing and danging and loving and going and swinging. And Scrooge say, "Hey, look at that! That's me down there." I say, "Yeah, that's you. That's you." He say, I look pretty good." He say, "Yeah, but you don't look good now." He said, "I'm going to help you. You're going to get yourself straight, or something terrible's going to happen." Zoom! He takes him over to another place, and he shows him a pretty little chick. And she got dimples, 3 dimples on each chin. She got 3 little dimple children. She got a next little dimple on the way. And here's a swinging cat around here. They're having a happy time. Place looked like 17 condors taken off. And Scrooge looked at this chick. He said, "I remember that chick. I could have married her one time." Scrooge say, "Yeah, you could if you weren't so tight in your purse. You've been thinking about yourself. That's what happened." He said, "Let me hit you further, Mr. Scrooge. Let me tell you one thing. You could have got everything straight if you wanted. You better straighten up." Scrooge said, "Take me home." And the ghost said, "I will." Boom, and he's home again. Said, "Oh, man, that was a shaker." I don't know what's jumping off here, but this whole thing is shaking me up pretty bad. He said, "Man, I'll tell you right now, wham! In come another big spook. He's a wild-looking spook. He's a crazy-looking spook. He's a far-out spook. He's a gaslighting spook. He got a gaslight right on top of his wig, going around like one of them automatic pilot lights in that lighthouse. And he's been gassing up the whole scene. He said, "Come with me. I'm the ghost of Christmas present." And Scrooge look around, you see the joint is loaded with apples and bananas and oranges and credities and aquabats and rippy lips and all kinds of crazy wild grapes and crazy Christmas scenes and nuts and candy. And he said, "Come with me." And he took off again. He said, "I'm the ghost of Christmas present." He said, "I'm going to show you what's going on in all this world and how the people did Christmas and how they all enjoy." And he took on, and he took them over to a little outcast island, and they're sitting on a small beat-up rock, 2 studs jumping up on a can of beans, singing, "Merry Christmas with you, Merry Christmas with you, Merry Christmas to the whole world," and jumping for joy here. And he showed the people jumping for joy there, and he showed the cats ain't got nothing, got something anyway, and they all jumping for joy, singing Merry Christmas, and the bells is ringing, and they say, "Now you get yourself straight and see how things is just. Come with me." So they fly over to Cratchit's place, and then there's little old Tiny Tim. He's sitting over there in the corner, crocheting a little crazy scene on his crutch, fiddling around, you know what I mean, and carrying on. And all these people talk about, "Look at this here goose, look down here, this little goose, about the size of a beat-up retarded sparrow," and everybody oohing and ahhing over this goose, and they're saying, "Where are we going to spend it?" And Tiny Tim said, "God bless everyone, even including old Scrooge. God bless everyone." That's what Tiny Tim say. And old Scrooge, you got wet eyes. It took him back. Pooh! Wow! The whole side of the building, boom! in come a long, angular spook. Looked like 17 gas-lighted stovepipes hung together with jingle-jangle bells all over. Scrooge takes a look at this cat and say, "Do I have to go with you?" He said, "You certainly do, because I'm the ghost of Christmas future." He said, "Come with me." "Where we going?" Say, "None of your business." And he takes old Scrooge and they cut off and they're flying around. The moonlight is shining down. So boom, they in a graveyard. Whoo, a wild, crazy, spooky graveyard. And old Scrooge is walking around and finally something stepped on, I don't know, like he's stuck in a force in his eye, some sort of electronic pitchfork, and he reads on one of them billboards in the graveyard. He say, "This is Scrooge, the baddest cat that ever lived. He ain't had nothing, he won't have nothing, and he ain't got nothing now. Period." And Scrooge look at that and say, "So, well, what do we say?" "Hey, man," he said, "Come with me." They go over to another place. Say, "Going to a funeral?" "Oh, not me, man. I wouldn't go near that cat, dead or alive." They couldn't pay me to get near that cat. I say, "What cat is that?" All of a sudden, kind of say, Scrooge is taking over to a coffin factory. And they see all these coffins laying around. They see one coffin. All the rest of them got flowers round. And this poor little coffin got nothing on it but just a pine wood bowl. And old Scrooge look up at the coffin and he look at this and that, but he's afraid to look all the way, for he knows who is in that coffin. So zoom, he swings on back again. The ghost puts him down. Old Scrooge is shaking and shivering, and finally falls into a real wild, crazy miser's coma. And he falls off for how long, he don't know when. He wakes up in the morning. The sun was shining on the glorious snow, and old Scrooge was feeling so groovy and so wild, and he tiptoes up the window. He opened the window up, see a little cat, say, "Hey, boy." Say, "Yes, sir." He said, "You know that great big king-size bird down in Dooley's window?" He said, "You mean the prize bird?" "No, I see. I mean that big, great big king-size bird." He said, "Go get that bird. Here's a 20. He knocks a 20 on him. He said, go get that bird, and here's 10 more for a cab, and here's $5 for your sister, and here's $22.50 for your uncle's new bicycle." And he said, "Tell anybody who wants anything, see Scrooge." He said, "I'm flying this here Christmas." He said, "I want to see Cratchit swing out with a great big happy dinner." He said, "I'm with it all the way." And old Scrooge get dressed and he's walking down the street. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The bells is ringing. Scrooge got a big smile on his face. And people he's seen in 20 years and never said hello say, "Good morning, Mr. Scrooge." And say, "Well, what do you say, baby?" And they're carrying on, happy as the day is long. And finally he fell into Bob Cratchit's place. And he's got Christmas toys and Christmas joys and Christmas presents for everybody. And they just opened the goose. And little Tiny Tim see him come and say, "God bless Mr. Scrooge. He done did the turnabout. He the Lord's boy today." And that's the story of Scrooge. You can get with it if you want to. There's only one way, straight through the road of love.
Michael Peppe, ladies and gentlemen.
Lord, 1959.